Okay, let's think about childhood. Is it really that simple, that golden age of innocence we sometimes imagine?
Or, is it actually full of these really deep, complex human things happening right under the surface?
Yeah, exactly. Which brings us to Mark Twain's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. We all know it, right? Classic story of a boy growing up.
But today, we're not just taking a trip down memory lane. We want to unpack what it really tells us about human nature. Why does it still resonate?
We know you want to get straight to the good stuff, the key insights.
Right, and we aim to do that, pull out those important nuggets. It reminds me a bit of how you can find AI book analyses now, like on the YouTube channel Mindful Moments.
Yeah.
They use tech to spark reflection.
Yeah, and we're doing something similar, but, with a human touch, guiding the exploration, really thinking critically about this text.
So let's start with Tom himself. He's quite the character, more than just mischief.
Definitely. And think about his situation with Aunt Polly. She's in a real bind.
Totally. She feels this duty, right, to her sister to raise Tom properly, but she also clearly loves him.
And society back then was all spare the rod and spoil the child. He even says it.
She does, but you can tell her heart isn't really in it. She calls him full of the old scratch, but the harsh discipline. It doesn't come naturally to her. It's this constant internal conflict.
It's a timeless struggle, isn't it? Balancing that love and, the need for rules.
Absolutely. And Tom, he's a master at navigating this, getting out of work, dodging punishment.
Oh, the cleverness, like with Jim and the whitewashing. That wasn't just luck.
Not at all. It was, as Twain calls it, a great, magnificent inspiration, pure manipulation, really.
He turns this awful chore into something desirable, a privilege.
Remember Ben Rogers? First he's mocking Tom, hi, you're up a stump, ain't ya? Makes fun of him.
And then, 5 minutes later? He's practically begging for a turn, trading his apple core for it.
It's amazing. It shows such an early grasp of, reverse psychology, understanding what makes other people tick.
Yeah, using their own desires against them, in a way. But it's not just about manipulation. Tom has this incredibly rich inner world, too.
Right, the imaginative play, the steamboat captain fantasy.
Yes. Barking orders, making the ding-dong-dong noises.
Yeah.
He fully commits.
He loses himself in it. And that's not just kid stuff, is it? It's a way of exploring, of coping, of building your own reality for a bit.
It really is. But this imagination exists alongside very real social stuff. Twain is brilliant at showing those early dynamics.
Like the whole contrast with Willie Mufferson, the model boy.
Ugh, Willie. So perfectly behaved.
And do the other boys admire him? No way. They resent him. His goodness just makes Tom seem more, real, more relatable.
It really does. And the Sunday school scene. Oh, that's priceless.
It's all about appearances, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Walter's trying so hard to be earnest. The teacher's showing off their authority.
And the kids trying to collect those Bible verse tickets. Tom trades for his. All a performance.
And that awkward moment when the judge asks Tom who the first disciples were. And he blurts out David and Goliath. It's funny, but it also captures that pressure, that anxiety of being put on the spot.
Totally. And amidst all this structure, you see Tom just yearning for freedom.
Yeah, even when he feels really down, thinking about, dramatic escapes, like drowning himself.
It's just so intense. But then, a second later, he's completely absorbed by a simple pansy he finds.
It shows that childlike ability to shift focus, but also the depth of feeling. Those lows feel huge when you're a kid, even if they pass quickly.
And the superstitions.
Yeah.
Burying marbles, the spells, worrying about witches.
It's about shared belief, isn't it? Creating their own little world with its own rules and rituals. It builds connection.
So adventure becomes the natural outlet for all this energy, this desire for freedom and connection. It shapes who they are.
The whole pirate phase on Jackson's Island. So romanticized. Being outlaws living off the land. Or trying to.
Right. They love the idea of it, the freedom.
Yeah. But then reality bites. Homesickness creeps in. That pull of home of Aunt Polly, it's stronger than the adventure, eventually.
Which is very human, isn't it? That need for belonging.
Definitely. And Tom's return. Showing up at his own funeral.
Pure Tom Sawyer. So dramatic. He loves the attention, the shock value.
But it also shows his need for reassurance, right? To see that people actually do care, that they missed him, it confirms his place.
Good point. And then there's the treasure hunting. Another escape. Another adventure.
Driven by that desire for something more, something hidden and exciting. But again, you see the differences in them, how committed they are, how much they believe the superstitions about where treasure is hidden.
Yeah, Huck's maybe more practical in his own way, while Tom's caught up in the romance of it. Thinking about sources like the Mindful Moments channel, they try to distill meaning quickly.
And that's kind of what we're doing here, right? Looking beyond the plot to see the human stuff underneath, like Tom's conscience starting to develop.
Ah, yes. The Muff Potter situation, that's a big one.
He and Huck see Injun Joe commit the murder, but they swear this solemn oath, blood oath even, to keep quiet.
And Tom really struggles with that. You see that internal battle between keeping his promise to Huck and doing the right thing, clearing an innocent man. It's a heavy burden for a kid.
It shows that moral compass starting to form, even if it's conflicted.
And then completely differently, there's that moment he takes Becky Thatcher's punishment at school. The ripped book.
Yeah. That comes out of nowhere almost. It's not calculated like the whitewashing. It seems genuinely noble, driven by his feelings for her.
It shows a capacity for selflessness, for empathy, that maybe surprises even him.
And even the less dramatic stuff, like the school exhibition day, the examination day.
Oh, the recitations and the essays. More performance.
Exactly. It's another way the community reinforces its values, public speaking, showing off learning, even if the compositions are hilariously overwrought sometimes.
True. And through all this, you see the complexity of their friendships, especially Tom and Huck.
There's loyalty, definitely, but also self-interest, especially with the murder secret hanging over them. It's not simple.
It really isn't. So when you step back from all these adventures and scrapes,
you see Twain using Boyhood not just for fun stories, but to explore these really fundamental things about, well, being human, growing up, figuring things out.
But is it a totally accurate picture of boyhood? Or is it more about adult nostalgia, looking back with rose-tinted glasses?
That's a great question. Maybe it's both. The incidents feel archetypal, they tap into something true about that phase of life, but maybe the telling of it smooths over some rougher edges, focuses on the adventure.
Yeah, perhaps its enduring power is in that mix, the recognizable truths wrapped in a layer of nostalgic charm.
I think so. It lets us connect with those feelings of freedom and mischief, even while acknowledging the underlying complexities.
So even a story that feels familiar, like Tom Sawyer, is just packed with these aha moments about why people do what they do, the motivations, the social pressures, the inner conflicts.
Absolutely. It holds up because those human elements are timeless.
So think about it. Which parts of Tom, his adventures, his feelings really click with you? What does it make you remember or notice about your own experiences, or just about people in general?
It's worth engaging with these classics critically, looking for those underlying messages.
Definitely. And if you enjoy these kinds of explorations, please do subscribe to our show.
Yeah, and maybe share it with someone else who enjoys thinking about literature and human nature. If they're interested in reading or rereading the book, you can find a link to purchase The Adventures of Tom Sawyer in our show notes. It helps support us doing more analyses like this.
Most importantly, just keep thinking critically. Keep questioning the stories we tell and what they reveal about us.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. When it comes to our own childhood, is the feeling of the memory, the emotional truth we hold on to, ultimately more significant than what actually factually happened moment by moment?